It is an honor and privilege to work on this outside zone analysis and breakdown for you. And it's been cool for me to delve into this deeper and, you know, really, get to this level that I have with it as well. Three factors upon analysis that I think are most important to the success of the play. And this is at any level from the Falcons to Alabama to high school football. The first one is the center's ability to reach shades and two eyes, even three techniques that are playing heavy or just penetrating, as we'll see. And he does this by getting depth and running, almost a mini pull technique. His first couple steps are just depth and run, like he's coming out of his stance pulling. And you see it time and time again. His angle of departure is has to be depth. It has to be run, and his ability to reach those shades and those two eyes and split the defense is probably the most important aspect of a successful outside zone play. The next factor is the play side, the uncovered linemen on the play side, their ability to lose ground and take appropriate angles to defenders and reach linemen, that are slanting to them, or perhaps a guard reaching a 4-eye, a tackle reaching a 7. A little bit different from the center because the center is obviously, you know, um, up on the line of scrimmage more, but their ability to take the appropriate angle, open, get their body where it needs to get, to be able to have the appropriate relationship um, with their block relative to where the ball is being run is very imperative to the success of the play, as we'll see as we break down this further. And then I think the third factor is the backside ability to scoop or to slip to a linebacker and to seal the linebacker. Um, the backside scoop technique is similar to the center's block in that he's losing ground and running, and it may be 4 or 5 yards. The backside tackle on a three technique, the backside guard on a shade, his ability to just get some depth, open and go, try to get his backside hand all the way to the inside and just really, completely seal the defender from pursuit and then a backside tackle going to a wheel linebacker, a backside guard going to a backer. As we'll see, we'll break it down. He's almost running one linebacker over. His angle is really defined, and it's his ability to get skinny and to cut those linebackers off, as we'll see, is really imperative to the success of the play. And the first two in particular, the center's ability to get depth and run, get his backside hand through, split the defense, and the play side's ability to take the appropriate angle and to have the relationship that they need relative to where the ball is being run. If those things happen, the play's probably going to be, successful. If all three happen, it's going to be a really big play because it can hit anywhere, as we'll see. But anyway, we'll start. I have these plays in sequence, and in a good order to kind of talk about and have a great, you know, understanding of the play. So let's take a look. Running outside zone left here. You see the shade 5 technique on the play side, and you can see the center. Obviously, just a toss here, but it's outside zone. and the center's ability to just get depth and run. I mean, get his backside shoulder through. He's not worried about penetration, and this is a theme that you'll see throughout this, um, presentation, is that the play side linemen, aren't overly concerned with giving up penetration as long as the running back's angle is wide enough and everyone's on the same page relative to where the ball should be run. And it's interesting to see, but it's time and time again that trend and pattern develops. You can see the play side, and again the backside is not perfect here. Trying to cut doesn't completely seal it off. I've seen better. He could lose more ground and run more, but it really is the center's ability to get some depth and run and reach the shade that makes the play, you know, makes the play happen. And we'll talk more about the backside guard's angle here and kind of his ability to, help create space as well as we go. Going to another play, this time out of the shotgun. And going left again, outside zone left. And once again, you see the center's block. I mean, he is not concerned about penetration. He doesn't get upfield until he gets all the way around the defender and gets his body in the appropriate position to split the defense. I mean, if this is just perfect angle to kind of show that. I mean, yeah, the guy might get a yard and a half upfield. It doesn't matter. He's going to his mini pull technique, getting his depth and running, and it's what's making the play successful. You see the backside there, getting depth and running, like we talked about, and again we'll emphasize more on that. I actually think the play side left tackle, if he'd have got a little bit more depth and been able to get more body surface on the defensive end, I don't think the running back is even touched breaking out here. But this is a big time play, and it really is the center's ability to split the defense, to get his depth and run. His pull technique here uh, really makes the defense work. Not a great defense either, but certainly the center's ability to split the defensive line is you know a great cause of the success. Moving on here, I want to give you a variety of teams to look at, different situations. So now a bare front, at least on the interior. This will clean up, I promise. Run into a 3 technique, and you can see the center here get his depth and run and split the defense. And I think he could probably do better. He could probably get a little bit more depth and run here to make this an easier block for himself. Guard does a nice job of playing heavy through the outside shoulder of the 3 technique, posting it, kind of carrying it for him, working through it, so the center can completely seal the 3 technique. But this is a bare look, at least on the interior, and 79 is kind of playing through the gap there, but it's the center's ability to run, lose some ground and run, and get his body in position to split the defense. Obviously, the running back's angle is wide enough, and this is a 10-yard run here, and I mean, it doesn't happen without the center's block. Getting out of his stance, running over there. Again, guard does a nice job of playing through the 3 technique, not running around it, but pressing it and passing it. And those are obviously important fundamentals, but the center's ability to really get his depth and run, um, it's just so important on these outside zone plays. Going to the right here, I think we have a better one than that to show you. So gonna run outside zone to the right here. Similar look with a 3 technique. And you see the center, and again, he's not perfect, I don't think. Um, Other guard does a decent job kind of passing it to him, but it's his ability to get out of his stance, run, and understand where the ball's going, and at least give the ball carrier a chance to advance past the line of scrimmage. I think that's the most important part of this, and these are good defenses. These are good defensive players, and they're relatively difficult looks to run into. I mean, a nose and 2 threes. That's a run stop look, but center's ability to get his depth and run, um, it's just paramount to the success of this play because it can hit out there, and the runner has the inertia and momentum to get positive yards. Have a few more for you here, and just again, going to that mini pull technique, getting out of his stance, getting depth first few steps, are just running. It makes a big difference, and it's a trend and pattern that you see time and time again. So here's another team here, and I want to show you this because this is not perfect by the center. After watching the other cut ups, it's clear that his first couple of steps should get much more depth. He's too flat, but the principles are the same. The reason this play works as it does is because the nose tackle gets reached, because the defense is split. The center does enough with him to allow the running back to advance past his block. And he could do better if he got, more depth, went to more of a pull technique. He could get the backside arm through and seal him off completely, and really seal him off and kind of squat his hips and you know let the running back break through, kind of like the Falcon center did earlier. But once again, you can see the angles of everybody kind of running off the ball, and it's the nose tackle getting sealed there that actually makes the play successful. Big time. Now, I want to transition next to what I talked about earlier, which is the play side lineman's depth, and in particular, the uncovered lineman's ability to take the appropriate angle to reach the defensive ends or the, um, you know, and that ability to take it on a slant, seal it off, or if he's playing heavy, if he's lined in a 4 or a 4-eye or a 6 or a 7, their ability to get out of their stance, get to where they're going, and block it in the appropriate relationship relative to where the ball carrier is running is very, very important to the play. And I've got some clips I've prepared that we can take a look at. So running outside zone left here. And obviously you see the center's block, but also look at the play side tackle here. He's got a 7 technique once the tight end settles in. 6 technique. He's able to lose some ground, similar to the center. Obviously, it's different because he's not in a center position. Not perfect there, but a 5-yard play because he's able to cover up the outside half and allow for the running back to advance past the line of scrimmage. And it's the angle of departure. It's the depth and run that all these guys take that's so important to getting their body in position relative to where the ball carrier is going. Tight end obviously working through the outside. I think this is a really, really good one coming up here. So the left guard running outside zone left on a 4-eye, getting his angle appropriate, giving up some penetration, and you saw this, and you'll see this not just from the center's block, but from the play side lineman's block as well. It's okay if they get 1.5 yards, sometimes 2 yards of penetration, because as long as the ball carrier's angle is wide enough, it's kind of like a puzzle piece. It just fits naturally. And on this play, I think the Falcons could have blocked it different. The center could have worked through the nose guard, the backside guard could have took over the zero. Instead, they kind of don't have the best angle to the backside linebacker, but it's the play side guard's ability to get his body where it needs to get that allows for the ball, to advance past the line of scrimmage and have a extremely successful play. As you see again, just going, opening and running, and the days of coming out of your stance, duck walking and staying low, shooting off. I mean, those are obviously over. It's much more run. It's much more get in position to have your body where it needs to get. Than kind of the days of 20-25 years ago, where this was seen as bad to give up this much penetration. But now you see it time and time again, and the best players and the best teams, get their body where it needs to get on these outside zone plays. In particular, different run plays, call for different techniques, but by and large, on all these outside zone plays, it's kind of the pattern that you see. Another play here. So I'll come back to this one. Kind of transition to the backside scoops and the linebacker cutoffs, and I think what makes this, uh, so important. And again, this as you kind of analyze it more and more, all the different blocks come together, from the center's block to the playside lineman's block, and then the backside scoops and the seals at the second level. And they're running a force element here with the fullback taking 56 and the center and backside guard working back to 53. And you see the backside guard here, his ability to lose some ground, run, to seal that backside shade. Um, and whether it's the center's block, or tackle's block, or the backside guard on a scoop, it's their ability to just run, get that depth, run, and it may be 4 or 5 yards, past the original alignment of the defensive player, but it has to be built in. You see the left guard here once again reaching a 3 technique. Now he's by himself because of the force element of the fullback, and obviously the center and backside guard working to the backside linebacker. But he's not worried about the penetration. Running backs knows where he's going. Linemen know that he'll be wide enough, and it's just a really smooth play. And for these plays to hit very clean, against NFL defenses, you don't see a lot of. And it's really the angles of departure and their ability to run off the ball, which makes this so successful. I have one here now. We're going to run outside zone to the right, and looking at the left tackle. The left tackle, he's going to cut the backside 3 technique, but what's I think the biggest takeaway from this is his ability to obviously get depth and run, and then throw. And he does a good job of surging upfield to get the inertia and momentum to get down the backside 3 technique. But the center doesn't do a great job here per se of just reaching the shade. But the ball is able to cut behind the center's block and at least have a successful positive play because of the backside tackle's ability to get his depth and run. And as I say, it could be 5-6 yards past the original alignment, but that's necessary to create that split within the defense. As we work through these, we have a couple that kind of bring in all of it, all the elements of the outside zone that we've seen that lead to success. We're going outside zone left here. We're going to look at the left tackle. Obviously, the left guard reaching the 3. They're working back to backside backer, and then he's also taking a good angle. And this is the other element, which is the backside lineman going to linebacker, and you can see him kind of open, crossover, get on a very well defined track, running, running toward the play side linebacker to seal off the backside linebacker, but just very disciplined in his track to get his body where it needs to get. And again, 7 technique, same principles we were talking about earlier, losing some ground and running. Tight end does a good job of ripping and really passing it to him, playing heavy through the outside of the 7 technique. And tackle does a good job of losing some ground and running to split the defense, to seal the 7 inside. You see backside guard obviously reaching the 3 technique. Have the safety here coming underneath, takes a kind of inside over pursues on the play, tries to run B gap, but the ball's going outside the 7 technique. So it's a kind of an illustration of all the blocks coming together. And you see when you study team after team after team, the most successful plays that the teams have incorporate the elements we've talked about, which is the center getting depth and run when he has a 2-eye or a shade or even a 3 technique, as with the Dolphins to reach. It's the play side lineman's ability to get their body in the appropriate relationship to where the ball is being run. And then finally, the backside lineman's ability to get depth and run, to scoop or cut, and then also take that good angle to the backside. Really open crossover run one linebacker over to get their body where it needs to get. As we work through these, and I think what's really exciting, for me watching this is I don't think it takes great talented players. I mean the more that you watch it, you see it's more about body positioning and angles than it is about overpowering. And of course there's a baseline of talent needed to perform, especially at these higher levels. But I think you'll see this more in college and also high school because it's more about getting your body where it needs to get, positioning yourself, taking the appropriate angle, which is through muscle memory and repetition and practice, then it has to be, um, just brute strength. And I think it's just so important to, kind of, see that, understand that, and coach that at all levels is becoming, um, just paramount to the success of the play. I have here um, some computer error, and all these plays I have for you. I will put the ones that we don't get to here. I will have for you to view in an additional video. Here, this is just one backside tackle on a scoop. Now, this ball could have hit play side maybe, but this is just one I wanted to give you kind of to illustrate the backside tackle scoop blocking the backside three technique. But just kind of in review, center's ability to go to his mini pull technique, get his depth, his first few steps, losing ground, not looking to get upfield, until he gets all the way around, not beating a block vertically until he beats a block horizontally to split the defense. Second factor, whether it's the tackle on a 7 technique or a 6, whether it's the guard on a 4 or 4i, their ability to open, run to their block, not so worried about penetration so long as they're in the appropriate relationship to where the ball is being run. And then finally, that last little bit about the scoops in the backside cut off at second level, but I've got some drills and some techniques to go over with you that I learned when I went to the Falcons training camp this past summer, as well as the Dolphins training camp, to share with you so you can see it from a practical standpoint of drilling it, coaching it, teaching it to the players, and I think it's something that coaches at any level could do, but I think that these factors, the drills and the muscle memory and the repetition, will lead to the big time success that you're going to have running this play. And so, Coach Maynard, I'll have a follow up video for you, but it was just a awesome, awesome experience for me to put this outside zone breakdown together for you. And I'll talk to you soon, Coach. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.